There are 13 attributes of Rachamim. Have you heard of this? Yes? No?
Yes.
Do you know what Slichot prayers are?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, what are they?
Confessional, how do you say it?
Vidui, yeah. They're confessional prayers. So Sephardim say them the entire month of Elul. Ashkenazim say them only from the Motzei Shabbat before Rosh Hashanah. But the way they're constructed is that they're going to be, in the case of the Sephardim, 5 recitations of the Midos HaRachamim, and Ashkenazim, I think 3 or 4. I'm not sure. What are the Midos HaRachamim? So, be Moshe for a moment. It's good for your self-image. Yes, I'm Moshe. Okay, so here you are, you're Moshe. You just received the Torah, which is like something nobody ever did. Such a huge achievement. You were on the mountain for 40 days. You come down and the Jews built the golden calf. You would be terribly disturbed and upset, would you not?
Low blow.
What?
Low blow.
Low blow. So, he goes to ask Hashem for forgiveness. He prayed for, again, 40 days. He finally gets forgiveness on behalf of the Jewish people. Hashem says, I forgave them like you said. If you were Moshe, what would you say next? What, if anything, would you say next? You've been praying for forgiveness and God's, I would say thank you and I would leave.
Yeah.
Okay? He didn't. He just like, he began to ask for more things. He said, I want to see your glory. And Hashem says, no one could see my glory and live. Now what he intended there was that he said, the reason the Jews made the golden calf is they don't know you. You're such a mystery to them that when they thought I died, when they thought they're left without a religious leader, and you took them out of Egypt, and there are miracles right and left, they didn't know where to turn. So they made an image that would be sort of a national emblem for them. But if they knew you, it would be different. So when Hashem said a living person can't know me, he meant that we're constrained by our bodies. Did I take you through the banana exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this? Picture 10 bananas. Ah, it's too much. Okay. Picture 10 bananas without breaking them into groups or counting them. Could you do that? No. So here you think like, yes, of course I know eternal God with all of his wisdom. Okay, his limitless light. I can't see 10 bananas, but you know, like whatever. So that's the problem. So the fact that we're living like we're in bodies prevents us from really knowing God. So Moshe continued to ask. So he said, here's how you could know me. So he revealed to him 13 attributes that are God's. And if you find them in yourself, you could use all of the abilities we just discussed to walk with God. So I'm going to tell you what Hashem said. And if you go to Slichot, you'll hear this repeated again and again. If you like experience, I'm an experience freak. Do any of you love experiencing things? You should go to Sephardi Slichot, even if you're Ashkenaz, even if you can't read Hebrew. It's just like so dramatic. So you can go. I'll tell you 2 places. Do you think you would actually go?
Yeah.
So they're every night at the Kotel at 11:30 at night. Okay, and
Video, there was so many people.
so many, but in life it's a different experience. There's also a synagogue called Or Chaim, where you have like at least, I'd say 3,000-4,000 people praying at once. And when you see like all of these, there's up to this, it's not like the Kotel, because the Kotel people come in, come out, they're all on the same page. They're all like, when they bow, everybody is bowing, you know? It just is very dramatic.
Orheim by East Jerusalem?
What?
Border? Is Orheim by the border where East
No, it's very easy to get to. You go there, would you want to go there? Yeah, I'll tell you how to get there. Take the 55 bus to the end of Geula, then walk down the street that goes downhill, not uphill, that takes you to Yafo, downhill towards Shmuel Hanavi. On the right side, just 1 block or so, you'll see like a guardrail, and you'll ask somebody, Or Chaim, and they'll tell you yes. Okay, so they have a guardrail because they have separate entrances for men and women. The first one that you'll get to is the woman's one. It's on the top floor of this large building. It's 5 flights up. Don't stop in the mid-floors. People say, oh gosh, I was there. It wasn't, you know, because they never even get there. Okay, It starts at 12:30, but if you're not there by 12:15, you're not going to get in the building. Okay, I took my girls from Benos Avigail. We left at 11:20, and it was the perfect time to leave. So I got this, well, where are all the people? There's just us. Within 15 minutes, you couldn't put another needle in the room.
Is that at night, you're saying?
It's at night.
It's at night.
Yeah, so at the Kotel it's at 11:30, and in Or
How
Chaim,
often is it?
every night until until Yom Kippur, actually. Every night. And so you can go in, not Friday night, okay, but every other night. And in Or Chaim, it's at 12:30, 12:15, 12:30. Okay, clear? Okay, it's an amazing experience. So here's what they'll be saying when they get up to, like, if you see the bag, then it's Hashem, you hear all these Hashem. So here are the words. Hashem, there are 13. Hashem, Hashem, Kel, Rachum, V'chanun, Erech Apayim, V'rav, Chesed, V'emes, Noter Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon, V'pesha, V'chata, V'nakeh. 13. I'm going to explain them all to you now and tell you how they parallel in human experience. So the first one is the name Hashem, which means is, was, will be. So the Talmud explains that Hashem is, was, and will be what? Compassionate even before there was a world. So the human parallel is that your default state should be compassion. Before you know the person who you're facing, before you know what their needs are, you should face people with the desire to feel compassion towards them. The second invocation of Hashem is Hashem, Hashem, is even after we sin, He doesn't change. We change. He doesn't change. So whatever responses He makes to sin isn't because He's changed. It's because we need different responses. So to make that clear, when human beings punish each other all the time, you're familiar with this? Well, I'm not talking to you for a while, that sort of thing. The reason most of the time, there are exceptions, but the reason why much of the time humans punish each other is because of our vulnerability. So you've hurt me, so I'm going to make it not worth it for you to hurt me again. Hashem's not vulnerable. Even humans sometimes punish not because of vulnerability. If a mother grabs her child from the road in order that he not be killed by a car, it's not because she's vulnerable, it's because she cares about him. So similarly, Hashem's interactions with us are for us. So on a human level, if somebody has hurt you, it's very hard to maintain a compassionate relationship to them. Could you see where this is so? Even if it's something small, we go into judgment so quickly and we're so vulnerable and we're so afraid of everything. The sharp retort almost always is defense. I remember once, somebody was on the bus. They're not obligated to change a 200 shekel note. They only have to change up to 50 shekels. Usually they'll change 100, but they don't have to change 200, nor will they usually do that because they have no more change. So somebody got on the bus, and the driver said, "Get off, you only have a 200 shekel note, I can't take you." So the person got very, this is Israel, right? What do you mean? People are getting on oath all the time. You could ask anybody to change it. Here, anybody have 200s for, and So the person to whom this was happening was like a teenager, a girl, maybe 14, 15, and she's really into this, you can't do this to me, And he said, "What's going to be with you? This is how you act when you grow up? What's going to be?" So she said, "At worst, I'll work for Eged." Okay, so that was, and that was the opening round. I mean, it didn't take long before the whole bus is So it's all about defensiveness. It's not about anything real. I saw something similar at a demonstration. So there was a demonstration in Har Nof. There are Knesset members who live in Har Nof. There was a big demonstration in front of some Knesset member's house. And this is Har Nof. So a lot of the demonstrators were American, So one of the people on the Knesset member's side started yelling, "Go back to America, go back to America."
In English?
Okay, "Go back to America, go back to America." So the person yelled back, "Go back to Morocco." How long did it take, like, for this to be over the top? Like,
12 seconds.
not I think 12 is like much less than that, Bottles were flying. It was just like, So the reason I'm telling you this is it's all about defensive stuff. It's not about anything real. So you have to the more you realize that what makes you a real person can't be harmed by anybody else's words, the more you could view people compassionately. So when you hear somebody say something insulting, here's the path. First question you ask yourself, is this true? If it's true, you should deal with it, even if the person's intentions were not good. If it's not true, it's irrelevant. It's just their insecurity. Let go of it. Okay, clear? And there are people who could do this. There was a girl in my class when I was in high school, Norma. Her parents were Holocaust survivors. They were really they were really not normal emotionally at all, neither of them. So the father was chronically angry. He got up angry in the morning. He went to bed angry at night. So the voice of anger is always like, this isn't how it should be. It should be that way. Like, who knows what he saw, in those years to make him chronically angry. So there's a lot of yelling in the house. Nothing, like there were two girls, Norma, I'm trying to remember his sister, Norma and Norma's sister, okay. There was constant yelling at them. And once, after school, all of the girls, it's high school, we all went shopping together. Norma had money, she had babysitting money, and she came home late. We walked her home, and her father was screaming at her, "You're a whore, I know where you get your money from." It's like, and this is in front of her friends. So I saw Norma really wasn't shaken by this. I was trying to figure it out, why isn't she screaming back at him or crying? And she's, "Oh, that's Dad. It's from the war, He's funny." That's called, in psychological language, that's called depersonalization. She realized it had nothing to do with her. It had to do with him and his experience, which is true. So it didn't penetrate. She was only 14 at the time, 15. So you have to learn how to depersonalize insult, and then you can feel compassionate towards people. Next, Kale. The name Kale means force. So an appropriate meditation for the divine name Kale is a waterfall. Were any of you at any of the great waterfalls of the world? Niagara Falls, Victoria Falls. Not Ein Gedi, it's whatever. It's a pretty waterfalls, but not, okay, so when you see the energy at Niagara, it's quite something. So Kel means Hashem continually pours into all of the universe unknowable amounts of energy. So the human parallel to this, which of course we can't pour infinite amounts of energy into anything, is at least we should try not to get tired of everything. Do you know what I mean? Your neighbor comes to borrow sugar. So you give her a cup. 2 weeks later, she comes and borrows sugar again. Give her a cup. After 5 times, you don't want to give her sugar anymore, and it's not about the money. So I'm tired of it. Don't be so tired. Have more energy. Just get on with it. Okay, next. Rachum. Rachum means merciful, but its root is the same root as the word rechem, which means womb. So Hashem is, so to speak, the womb of the world, meaning the ecological systems and the astrological systems both are he created systems that are totally self-maintained. He made it everything, he took care of everything, all of the eventualities and possibilities. So obviously, a human being can't do this, but you could try to be a safe place for people. What do you think it means to be a safe place for others?
Listening here.
That you listen, that you don't judge, that if somebody tells a secret, it stays with you. Okay, next. Chanun means giving for free. So Hashem gives for free, you don't pay your oxygen bills, you don't pay your gravity bills, you don't pay your velocity bills, you don't pay sunlight, you don't pay, okay, it's all free. Okay, so the way he gives also, besides being for free, is he's totally concealed. He's the hidden giver. So you breathe the air that he provided, but you don't see Hashem. You just, you see the sunlight, you don't see its creator. So the human parallel is to do two things. One is to try to give without strings attached. You know how with some married couples it's all bookkeeping? You know what I mean? 2 weeks ago we went to your mother's. I think there's no reason you should complain about going to my mother's. I know it's tax season, I know you're an accountant, but it's been 2 weeks, and it's like, just let go. Okay? So a basic rule in life is if somebody needs something from you and you could do it, do it. If you can't do it, don't do it. But it shouldn't be contingent on their doing something back. It should be independent of them. It has to do with you and what you could do. Okay, so if you don't have expectations and you do good things, you're a lot happier than if you do. So try to give for free. Okay, so the next, and this is like emotional giving also. I have a friend who's very, very good at this. She went on the bus with me, and her greeting to the driver was like so friendly, like shalom, shalom. When she left, shalom, ezen asiyah. She made his day, and it didn't cost her anything. But people won't because they'll think, well, he works for money, so I don't owe him anything. So I have another friend, a different person, who she's a writer, Sarah Rigler. Some of you might have read some of her books. So she got a big royalty check. It was like she'd been waiting for this for more than a year. So she had money in her pocket, like a lot of money. She went to Osher Ad, and she began to thinking, the cashiers, you've gone to Osher Ad? Yeah. They work at minimum wage, and it's like it's such unattractive work. You know what I mean? Like, they're on their feet the whole time mostly, or in these uncomfortable swivel chairs. And it's like, you don't have a minute, like, there's no conversation, there's no. So she gave the checkout girl a tip. Like, she gave her like an extra 10 shekels, which was not going to change her life at all. The girl was like, she was so shocked. She said, I want you to have something. You did everything so well. You really deserve something. Here, have 10 shekels. It didn't cost her a lot, but it made her day.
Yeah.
Okay, so try to give for free without any expectations. Okay. I had something happen to me like this. I was the recipient. It was very funny. It was like my Osher Ad stories. In Osher Ad, Thursday night, they run out of shopping carts. Like, they have more than enough every other time. But Thursday night, late, they run out. So what you do if you want to shop is you follow somebody who checked out to their car, and you stand there like waiting until they put all the food in the car, and then you take their card. Now, in order to dissuade people from stealing, not that I think it helps that much, to get a cart, the carts are arranged like in a chain, and to release one, you have to put in a 5 shekel piece. When you put it back, you get back your 5 shekels. So I was following this man who was like, and then I see he's like going really far. So I said, where's this man parked? He didn't have a car, he had a bicycle. And he's taking out all the bags and tying it to the bike. Oh, this is my luck. Everybody, So he finally, he's ready to roll. I didn't even know how he managed, but whatever. So I said, here, I'm taking your card. Here's 5 shach. Yeah. So he said no. So I said, well, why not? He said, just smile and give the card to somebody else and tell them to smile. Look how grim you look. Everybody, this whole place looks like they're about to die. Look at people at Osher on Thursday. Everyone's lighten up here, So that was, Okay, and it's good also to give in a hidden way. I think in this class we spoke about the different levels of charity. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
So the highest level is when the person who you're helping becomes independent, when they don't need you at all. So we did half, the other half will be next time.